Oh, there are some people here already. Let's see, the chat should be on. Refresh. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I can see a good channel. Okay, great. Is the title okay? Live stream, Morse evening chat with K1 radio. That's it. I'm gonna put that on full screen. I can see what you guys are telling me. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Yes. Can you hear me? Murloc Confidential? Yes? It's so hot here. I'm not gonna lift my arms. Anyway, yeah, I don't have air condition, so it's a real pain, I'll tell you. I'm gonna lower the K1 a bit. Wow, that's better. Alright, we're gonna wait that some people show up. Already 21, that's great. Again, something I wasn't really planning on doing, but I announced it on the Facebook web page a little bit earlier this afternoon or this morning, I don't remember. Alright, so Matt, M6CEB, Muller Confidential, Steve Jones, W3OY, Ray, Mac on the board, okay, K9KMV, Unlucky Ham, wonder what happened. Steve Jones, yeah, 32 degrees, I don't know, I should get my phone. Whoops. Where did I put that? Alright. What's the temperature? Oh, it says 26, but it really feels much hotter. It feels more like, you know, 30. I was going to say 85, but 85 is, of course, the Fahrenheit. We don't use Fahrenheit here, we use Celsius. Iowa. Hey, you great. Okay, thanks, Larry. Excellent. 26, yeah. And I plugged in my magnetic loop antenna as usual. It works awesomely well. I got a 1-to-1 SWR, 1.1 to 1 SWR. See 10.118 as the calling channel. I wonder if anyone is on 10.123. Nope. Maybe I'll try. Oh, outputting 6 watts. Great. My K1 is plugged in a power supply. Drawing about 30 milliamps. It's crazy. That's why I like it so much also. 86 Fahrenheit. Yeah. Florida was like that. Sometimes up to 100. Most of the time it was like 90 in the summer. Here it depends. Sometimes I mean, most of the time it's great, but I don't have air conditioning, so that's a real pain. I mean, that's really, and my fan just died. My fan died, so I spilled some water on my electric kettle, tea kettle, and it just the breaker just went off, and I turned everything back on, and everything turned back on except my fan, which doesn't work. So I'm just sweating balls. Excuse my French, but yeah, it's extremely hot. G0UMP Malcolm. Alright, so I had a few suggestions for subjects, discussion subjects for tonight. We're going to be live for a couple hours, if I last that long. Not sure about that. I might faint before that. Something broke, I don't know, Murloc. Yeah, my fan broke. That's why I'm all sweaty. Very shiny. So yeah, Facebook, what questions did I have? What suggestions? I'm gonna go to groups and radio propers. and check out the if there are any questions or subject. I know there were suggestions. Okay, so someone Sebastian, I don't know if he's here, suggested AMCOM procedures, and I told him I'm not really into AMCOM, emergency communications. I'm into prepping, and that's not at all the same thing. So I mean, there are similarities, obviously, but I posted the link on to one of my videos on the on Facebook, on the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group for those who haven't found it, Radio Preppers on Facebook, and also, of course, radiopreppers.com. And it's been quiet lately, and I'm waiting for you guys. Yeah. So what else? There was other suggestions. Oh yeah, Manpack radios, good one, from Felix. And what else? Impedance matching. I've talked about that quite a bit, and I'm not sure I want to talk about impedance matching. It's very important, yes. Maybe a little bit. And let's see, more replies. No, okay, so yeah, we can talk a bit about Manpack radios to start with. You guys have any questions? What is the aim of comms in a SHTF situation? Great one. Okay, I like that. It's fairly simple, really. Well, it's more than one thing. One is to actually get news, to receive broadcast radio news, and to know what's going on. Just by listening, basically. And you can do that with a simple receiver. You don't need to have a transmitter for that. So you don't need to be a ham operator or a CB operator or anything like that to listen to news. Actually, with a CB, you can't listen to broadcast stations. So you can listen to other people, and that might be a source of news. And it's in either case, it's not hugely reliable, either from people or broadcast stations. That's not reliable either. But listening to the news can give you an idea of what's going on if there is a wide area catastrophe, basically situation. I'm going to lower the K1 because well, you might be alone. There's no phone, no internet. How do you know what's going on? You just don't. And that's a big problem, because what if you need to evacuate to somewhere safe? How do you know where that is if your area, your county, your town is, I don't know, maybe under industrial accident, chemical cloud, or you can imagine anything you want. Earthquake, war, why not? That's not out of the question, and much less so as time goes on, it seems, right now. So first thing is to the goal of communications in SHTF is to get news, know what's going on. Second thing, very important too, is if you have a group of friends, family, to be in touch with them and communicate. If you have a group, a prepping group that you count on for support, you will need to communicate with them, because of course they might not, you don't live together probably, so they might be the next town over, or the next state over, who knows. You might have to communicate and say, hey, come and join me, or I'm going to join you, or whatever. Anybody knows what's going on in between. So news, listening to news, and also communicating with friends and family, the two things very important. Or friends you made online. I mean, not online, but on the air. Well, you might have made online, but continued testing on the air and communicating on the air. So I have friends that I know are on the air, and I know just about where on the RF spectrum, on which frequency I'm going to find them. Even in the US, I have a friend, Ray, for instance, in Virginia. I know just about which frequency is going to be on if I want to call him, because that's the frequency we used for our daily Morse practice. So, excuse me, it's so hot here. All right, who else is here? Oh, that's quite a few comments here, and people are starting to show up. 37. So Murloc Confidential suggested the goal, the aim of comms in a SHTF situation. I hope I answered your question. We can always add to that if needed. Oh, Matt got the Alens HD1. Great, yeah, I have mine right here actually. I like it. It's not a Hytera, and the construction isn't quite the same performance, but it's much cheaper, and it's dual band, so it's quickly becoming my maybe not my favorite radio, because that's probably still the Yaesu VX6, but it's becoming the one I probably will use the most. That I'll take with me, you know. QRP kit videos in your schedule? Yes, QCX Plus and QCX Mini. I haven't ordered yet because I'm broke. This is a coffee thing here. Don't hesitate to send me a coffee. Help me get a kit, you know. Yes, I want to get the QCX Plus. That's for to install aboard my boat. That's going to be CW only, of course, a single band on 30 meters. And I want to get a QCX Mini for my bug out bag, and that's going to be on 40 meters. So I want to get those two radios and build them. I'm so sweaty, my sunglasses are... And my shirt is wet, so I can't even wipe my glasses. Darn, okay, that's getting difficult. Anyway, unless your government is like Cuba and jams up the frequencies. Yes, well, that's something very interesting that we saw happening very recently. I don't know if they can or would jam everything. Like the Cubans only jammed 40 meters, I believe. And I'm not sure they would jam all the time. And I'm not sure they could jam like digital modes like JS8. Those modes are so efficient, so have so much error correction in them that I think they could resist quite a bit of jamming. Morse code isn't bad. I mean, you can, you know, but I mean, it's possible. Yes, you know, what are you going to do? You know, it could happen or not. So I'm not going to worry about it because it's not something that you can control. Just like propagation. So I'm not going to worry about jamming, but it's something to keep in mind. Yeah, I would be more worried about geolocation. I mean, you know, than jamming, but there are probably ways around it. Somewhat, you know, have a lot of different bands you can go on. To. I'm sure the Cubans couldn't just jam everything. I mean, that would create an international outrage. Of course, not that they would care at this point, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how exactly. You know, I'm not into signal intelligence. I've never been into the military, so I don't quite know how that would pan out, or you know, how we could circumvent that. But there are definitely ways to do it, and digital modes would be one of them. All right, so that was Ray. Thanks for the question. So jam their jammers. Well, jammer is a transmitter, so you can't jam it. But yeah. Jam them, you know, if they can, but you know, that's creating a lot of problems for a lot of people, because you can't selectively jam someone. You're jamming everyone. Battery on the HD1, fantastic. Yeah, it lasts a long time. I'm surprised that I've never used it to the end, so and I don't recharge it very often, but I mean, I haven't had it for a long time, so. All right, so Manpack radios, that was another question. Then I'll try to call on the K1, maybe make a contact in Morse code. My favorite radio, right here. Oh, how come it's showing it? Okay. Manpack radios are military radios mostly, and so hot. So Manpacks, there's very peculiar things about Manpack radios. First of all, is that they are near indestructible. I mean, those things are giant, not giant. You know, they are thick aluminum bricks, basically. My PRC. Well, here's a PRC. See, I don't even have to move to grab a radio. I didn't prepare this. I have radios everywhere. PRC 351. And it's a brick. It's heavy. I have my impedance transformer here. Actually, I think I'm going to use a J-pole now. My J-pole I built, but you could use this to to put under your truck's tire to get out of a mud hole, no problem. And I'm not even joking when I say that. It's actually a fact. These radios are like the PRC 320 or the VRM 5080, which is down there somewhere. You can't see it, but or the VRM 5080. Those radios are so darn strong, and I don't know how you would destroy one. I mean, you'd have to shoot it probably. So great advantages here. Unfortunately, commercial and amateur manufacturers do not build radios like that, and they would cost a fortune. That's one reason, of course. Another reason is they think that there is no demand for that kind of radio. I think there is. I want one. So there's no demand for Manpack radios, very little actually, and the current Manpack's commercial offerings are anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, and that's, I mean, I can't afford one. I'd have to take up a loan. One day I might, but not right now. I have other things to do. But they are nearly indestructible. So that's one thing. We don't have that in the commercial amateur world. That's too bad. I'm really hoping. Then we have something very interesting about these radios also, is that they have, pretty much all of them have around 25-30 watts, sometimes 40. I mean, on HF usually it's like 30 watts, not more than that. And when you think about that, the military, they have a lot of money. They can test anything they want. They can build anything they want. They don't care if they pay 30 grand, 50 grand for a radio. So if they had wanted 100 watts, they would have had 100 watts. Of course, the batteries become a problem. So that might be one reason why they stop at 30 watts. But even today, with the modern radios, they also use about 30 watts. And that's because it's enough, guys. You don't need more than 30 watts SSB. You don't. Let's see. Oh, I'm getting sidetracked watching the chat. So, Manpack radios work very well with 25-30 watts. 30 watts is what the PRC 320 has. And so that's one other thing about Manpack radios. Now, there are a lot of people building, I'd say, armored radios using Pelican cases, other kind of cases, aluminum cases, and so on and so forth. Usually, it's a bit of a. Usually, they don't get the level of protection that the military radio offers. There's always going to be a connector or wire somewhere, or a button, or a screen or something that's going to be the weak point. And if those radios are subjected to harsh treatment, shocks and humidity, rain, etc., they're going to fail. I think they're going to, lots of them, not all of them, because there are some very good, people are very good at building stuff. Engineers who are going to build their own, Go kits. like we call them, and they're going to be successful and they're going to work. But I think what we can all do is actually for transport, is to transport radios in like Pelican cases, for instance, or similar cases anyway, and use them in environments that are inside a tent, for instance, or somewhere where the radio would be protected. But I remember one time I was taking a survival class actually, and I brought my Weber MTR. And boy, did I regret bringing that MTR. It's a great radio. I love it. It's awesome, but it's the size of a packet of cigarettes, But it's got holes in it, and it's not waterproof. And I was in camp. It was raining. I was doing a little bit of radio, but my radio was getting wet, and people were walking around, threatening to just knock it over or step on trip on the antenna cable or something, and I was really concerned that my radio wound up in the mud. So the next time I took a survival class with the same people, I brought my PRC 320, and I didn't care one bit what happened to it, because nothing would happen to it. I could leave it on the floor, people could step on it with their boots and whatever, it didn't matter. Someone could just kick it by accident, it didn't matter one tiny bit. There would be no damage made to that radio. So that's the advantage of Manpack radios. That's why I love them. But man, are they heavy radios. And often they use 24-volt batteries, so that's again, it's not easy to charge those batteries. So lots of inconveniences in using Manpack radios. But if you put them in a vehicle, or a camp, it's a camp radio, use it as a camp radio or vehicle transported radio, they're awesome. They're awesome, but you're not going to carry them with you in your backpack. All right, so someone asked me a question. Okay, I was watching a video on unfed half-wave antennas just recently, and the presenter said that the actual resonant length of the wire is somewhat shorter than calculated length due to loading by the toroid. I believe so. I always had to, when I calculated a half-wave wire, I cut it to a half-wave. I always had to shorten the antenna a bit to get the best match. And also, the thing is though that the best SWR doesn't mean that you're exactly resonant. That's the problem. It's hard to tell when you're exactly resonant. That said, it's not exactly, it doesn't really matter that much if you're just a little bit off. It doesn't matter that much if you have 2-to-1 SWR. If your antenna is a little bit too long, it's a little bit too long, so what? It's so efficient that half-wave is so efficient, same with the dipole, it's that it doesn't really matter if you're a little bit off. You're not gonna, the guy at the other end is not gonna hear the difference. It's not gonna be the difference between making contact and not. So I wouldn't worry about it. I just cut for good SWR, best SWR, and that's it. Oh, what's that noise? Okay, I don't know. So after that, I don't know. I don't worry about it. Worrying about SWR is a recent development. With transistor radios. Before, when people were using tube radios, there was no such thing as worrying about SWR. You just matched your antenna the best way you could and forget about it. It's kind of the same with military radios. Well, you kind of try to match it the best you can, but other than that, you don't really worry about it because they have transistors that are rated for so much higher than their output power that it doesn't matter. You can a lot of military radios. We're going back on Manpacks. You can transmit without an antenna or with a short. It's not going to do anything. Not all of them, though. Be careful. Don't do it if you're not sure. But there are military radios. It doesn't matter if you transmit on a short or you forgot to plug in your antenna. All right. So I hope I answered that. How do you prepare against the vaccine fascism now? So we're not going to talk politics. I'm only going to say that I'm not vaccinated. I'm not planning on doing it, but that's it. I'm not gonna go any further than that. You prepare like you prepare for everything else, I guess, you know, because you don't know what's gonna happen. France, or yeah, France, yeah. Well, again, I'm not gonna go there, guys. But yeah, it's really bad here. Christian K0STH, hello. Oh, it's 100 watt and a wire. Yep, all right, Christian from it didn't catch on the call sign here. Excellent. Welcome here. All right, so yeah, guys, if you're not subscribed to 100 watt and a wire, just do it. It's a great channel. I watch it. All right. Mine could have been called 5 watts and a wire. I'm not gonna comment on that. All right. Here's a question before I call on the K1. Just built a QRP 5 watt radio from a kit. Which one? What antenna should I use? Well, it depends on what your radio is. You tell me what radio you have, if it's CW or SSB, or which bands you have, and I'll tell you which antenna probably would work best. But if it's HF, I'd say a hand-fed half-wave, probably. The best way with antennas, the best thing to do with antennas is build them yourself. It's so freaking easy. There's no point in buying already made. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, because some antennas are better made than I can make them. So, you know, like I'm thinking in particular of chameleon antennas. But of course, you know, you buy an antenna that's already made and you're going to pay a premium. So you build one, it's going to cost you much less, just a few dollars. You can build an hand-fed half-wave transformer. Actually, I have a case for one here. Building. I'm almost done finishing these, by the way. If some of you guys ordered one, almost done. I know I've been procrastinating. My apologies. And you know, tiny thing like this with a little toroid FT82-43. I don't know, probably. Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, in parts, it probably cost I don't know, $12 maybe. I don't know, it's hard to tell. Maybe it just takes time, basically. It's time that if you have the time, you can build anything you want. I said, let's see. Okay, so QCX plus 5 watts CW. Okay, which band is it? If you had said like a Weber MTR with 3 bands, I would have said the QRP guys tri-bander vertical. Is excellent, but if you have a QCX, build an half-wave hand-fed transformer, 64-1, if you're on the lower bands, or you know, I mean, with 3 tons primary if you're on the lower bands, and 49-1 with 2 tons primary if you're on the upper bands. And I have plenty of videos, a few videos showing that process. Do Manpack rig have balanced studs? Balanced studs? No, I don't believe so. They don't. I mean, the PRC 320 has an output for wire antenna, and you just plug in a wire. That's it. And you attach and there is a ground lug, and you attach a counterpoise to the ground lug. You lay on the ground, you attach a wire, you know, no matter what it is, any kind of wire, you attach that to the wire output, and there's a built-in tuner, and you tune it as best you can, and you forget about it. Yeah, but I've never seen one with a balanced lug, with balanced lugs. No. Single wire operation, definitely most of them do. Yeah. So even even that PRC 351 that I showed you, there is actually an antenna that is a wire antenna. You just dangle, basically, but it's not much more than a dummy load, you know. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, because it does work. It's just that for the military, efficiency is not the primary concern, and I've talked about that before. And a lot of people sometimes comment on my videos and they say, well, you know, there's a better antenna than that, and why don't you use this antenna because it's better, and why don't you do this because it's better, and what you're using is not efficient, or blah blah blah. But the thing is that performance is not my primary concern most of the time. Practicality, ease of deployment, stealth, you know, sometimes. I mean, I have a lot of concerns other than performance. Performance is not always the goal. So that's, you know, it has to be good enough, obviously, but it doesn't need to be the best thing out there to work. And that's my point. All right. Dig my Pactena. Yeah, Pactena is a good antenna, sure. Built micro SDX, I don't know what that is, and it works great right now. Okay, cool. Some more power. You know, if you have a good antenna, yeah, 4 watts is great, man. If you use CW, you don't need more than that. If you use SSB, 4 watts is pushing it. 10 watts would be better, but you don't really need more than, for CW and digital modes, 4 watts is plenty of power. All right, so yeah, don't forget the coffee thing, guys. If you want to help this channel, because I'm providing entertainment. It's like going to the movies. You got to pay the ticket. And I'm not ashamed to say that. G1 or Minion? Final thoughts. Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Okay, I'll tell you guys the advantages and toilet made out of gold. No. I would, if I had a toilet made out of gold, I would melt it and make ingots. I'd make bullets. No, I shouldn't. Let's not talk about that. All right, so G1 or Minion? The Xiegu G1M. I think you're referring to the G1M. Both radios, by the way, are relatively cheap radios. They're on about the same level as far as quality. I think maybe the Minion SDR is a little bit better as far as quality control, but probably not by much. But I think it's still a bit better. The G1M has 4 bands: 15, 20, 40, 80 meters, and it's great that it has 80 meters. 80 meters is a very important band for prepping. The Minion SDR has all the bands from 160 to 10 meters. So that's what makes it so great. The G1M is usable on CW, using CW. The Minion SDR is not. It's I consider it to be strictly a SSB radio. Now I'm going to try a straight key, and I haven't done it yet, but I think it might work with a straight key, but not with a keyer. So don't expect to use the Minion SDR with a keyer. It's probably not going to work. Although I've seen a video of one guy using a Big Alley paddles with it, and it worked. But as soon as he switched to cheaper paddles, it stopped working. He was getting all kind of, well, like I did, extra dash and dots, and impossible to use basically. So if you do CW, I'd get the G1M. If you want to do SSB, I'd get the Minion SDR. There you go. Throwing an arborist line in a tree with a beanbag takes me less than 5 minutes. Yep, that's right. I do that too. I use fishing line, but same thing. And I attach a little rock on it, or a little lead weight for fishing also, which you find in the same aisle. And yeah, I don't even use a slingshot anymore. I just take it, just whip it around and throw it, and that's it. I can throw it very high like that. So you don't need much, just a little bit of line and unfed half wave, and you're good to go. Oh, it's 40 meter band. Okay, yeah, unfed half wave. a 64-foot wire, 65 depends if you do SSB or just start at maybe 65, 66 and see from there. And I would use a 64-to-1 transformer with 3 turns primary and 24 turns total. And use a 43 material toroid, that's very important. Either an FT82-43, FT140-43, or FT240-43, depending on how much power you want to put in. But with the QCX, I'd use an FT82-43. And I've noticed that there isn't much difference in performance with smaller toroids. And that's because the toroids, they get smaller. There is less space. So less space in the middle. So magnetically, it's actually more efficient. Of course, it's smaller, so it's less efficient, but all in all, I think there isn't much difference. You are very entertaining. I entertain myself sometimes, you know, and I live alone here, so no, I'm not talking about, guys, what am I saying? Yeah, I mean, I always find something to do, you know, that, and either it be radio or building drones now or other stuff. Well, that's pretty much what I do right now, actually, building drones and radio. And the boat, yeah, someone's asking me about the boat. The boat is fine. I haven't used it enough, really. I haven't been out yet. I mean, I've been out one time since the... Actually, this year I've been out only one time, and that's just not enough. And it's kind of waiting for me to upgrade it. And next thing would be, of course, a radio, QCX Plus, on 30 meters, and solar power, and a bunch of other stuff. I just got a dinghy. I just bought a dinghy, and it's because I needed that to, of course, to leave the boat and go to shore, back and forth. So that's something that I will need for my big trip I want to make later. Yep, it's easy. Yeah, it's very easy, Joseph. You're absolutely right. And I think that's the best way to go for portable radio operations on HF is to use an unfed half-wave antenna. Those are the best. And I don't care what people say. I know you don't need a counterpoise. People will say, oh, you need a counterpoise with an unfed half-wave. No. Only if you use like, I don't know what that is. Only if you use, you know, pretty high power and like 100 watts, you know, then maybe a 0.05 wavelength counterpoise might help. But you shouldn't need a counterpoise with an unfed half wave, and I've never used one, not even once. Random wires, yes, but not an unfed half wave. Okay, sometimes I worry about the SWR of my antenna due to the change in surroundings. Yeah, except especially with the QCX and other homebrew kits. Do you take a experiment on these cases? I do, but I don't check it all the time. The thing, the QCX, just like the Weber MTR, I think uses the BC170 transistor. And I mean, like more than one. I know the Weber MTR uses 3 of them. I'm not sure if the QCX uses that too. I think it might. Don't quite remember. But you know, I've never had a transistor blow up. Final transistor. It just never happened to me. And as you know, sometimes I use antennas with SWR up to like 2 to 1, 2.5 to 1 even, and I never had a problem. Of course, I don't like do extended transmit on digital modes or anything like that. For digital modes, I'd be worried. But even using like the Whisper beacon on the QCX, I'd be careful. But usually not. I don't really worry about it, and I never had a problem. I certainly don't worry if it's 2 to 1 or less. But as I said, I've used radios sometimes with 2.5 to 1. I think I might even have used some with 3 to 1. But 3 to 1 is pushing it. But no, I don't worry too much about it. Have you ever tried design of experiment to modelize antenna best setup performance? I've never used a modeling software, no. I haven't really gotten into that. I probably should, but it's you know, I work on computers all day, and at the end of the day, or for fun, I don't want to work on a computer. Although I do when I edit my videos. But yeah, it's I don't really I'm not sure I want to get into antenna modeling and things like that. I'm not an antenna designer, so it's not really interesting to me. I just see if they work or not. I use them and I see if they work well enough. Moving the, yeah, I mean, you could move your antenna around for sure, because the ground can interact with it, trees and things like that. But again, I don't really bother, because it works. I don't have to worry about that too much. Maximum performance is not my goal. If it's more convenient to use one tree than another, you know, that would be better placed maybe. I'm just going to look for convenience before performance, and usually I don't have any trouble. So I don't chase performance. It's not what I think. It's not what radio prepping is about. It's more about being practical, simple, easy to set up, and good enough, you know. Experimental, yeah. D does it about modelization. It works very well for everything that is experimental. I mean, for sure, but you know, I don't. Again, I don't build. I don't design the antennas I build. I find the designs online. They're already designed basically, and I build them. Sometimes I build them a little differently than other people. In you know, interesting ways, but I don't design them. I'm not an antenna designer, and I think designing antennas is extremely complicated. A lot of people you know, just brand themselves antenna designers, but they're not really. They're experimenters just like me, and they rehash old designs. I think there are very few new antenna designs coming out. I think it's extremely rare these days. I think most antenna designs have already been invented, and we don't see much new stuff. Or you know, maybe we can see a variation on a theme on an antenna, but we rarely see new concepts, you know, becoming a reality. The last one I've seen that was pretty interesting was antennas made of liquid columns under pressure, and you could vary the it's like some kind of conductive liquid, or I'm not quite sure, but you could vary the height of the antenna by adjusting the pressure, and that was just crazy. But that's very interesting. That's a new concept, but I don't think there are many new concepts in antenna design these days. All right. Working on French license. Interesting. All right, so you're going to have an F4W call sign, just like mine, I guess. Yeah. Cool. All right, so I'm going to turn on the K1 now, and we're going to try to, because otherwise it's going to be too late to make contact. Propagation is going to disappear. Actually, I think it's already getting, I heard a lot more people earlier. Oh. 10.118, 10.118, I'm going to post that. I'll take this moment to thank all my Patreon subscribers again. Without you guys, this channel might not make it, and so thank you very, very much. You guys are awesome. Check the Patreon link down below. If you want to support the channel, also you have the coffee thing here. Much appreciated. Linked dipole in the field. Yeah, the linked dipole, it's very simple. And you can change bands. You could have a linked unfed half wave also, I guess. A linked dipole, that's really practical when you have a low slung dipole, like a 6 feet high, you know, for 40 or 80 meters for NVIS. And you can just, you know, unplug it and reduce the length, and you change bands like that. A taped, ever used a taped Unun? No, I don't tape my Ununs because material 43 ferrite is not conductive, so there's no need for taping it. You might argue that for transport, if it was like if I left my transformer in the back of my truck, I might tape the toroid because the wire would suffer being banged around like that, you know. But you know, my transformers, I use hot glue to secure the wires and the toroids inside the case, for one, and I transport them in you know, in a bag or a case or something. So I don't really need to tape toroids. I don't think that's really that useful, but I mean, it doesn't hurt. KX2, yeah, awesome. Yeah, the KX2. I shouldn't have sold mine. That was a mistake. I should have kept it. I really like that radio. Not as much as the K1, but it's pretty good. All right, so okay, question mark. Then I'm going to send a QRL question mark asking if anybody's using the frequency. Alright, if nobody answers, I'm gonna call and I'll put it on automatic. Alright, so K1 is calling for me, I don't have to do it. That's being lazy. A multi-band trapped, yeah, I thought about it. I might still do it sometime, possibly. Especially that you can find kits for the traps, and so it's not very difficult. But yeah, I have definitely thought about it. My PAR unfed 40-2010 has a trap on it, so it's I can use it on a 40-20 and 10 meters and 15 with a tuner. My paddles, I have a Kent key here. Show it. So that's a Kent key, works really well. I'm not sure they're still in business. Someone tell me, but I'm not certain. It's affordable and it's good. I'd love to have a Big Alley Travelers. Probably will buy one if I can save up enough money to get one, because it's pretty expensive. But Big Alley Travelers would be my Travelers Light would be my choice. I also have a Palm paddles. Those are out of, you know, they're out of the market. And I think I've started calling too late on 30 meters. And my antenna won't go on 80. So I'm sweating. Alright, I'm gonna check if I didn't drift. No. My K1 had time to warm up, but the K1, when you just turn it on and you go on a frequency, start calling, it can drift quite a bit. It's entirely analog, and that's why I like it. It's that sound is just amazing. That analog sound, it's just nothing like it. Angpao CQDX, I don't know. Okay, hold on. Someone posted something. I don't know what it means exactly. I'm gonna allow it. But I don't know what the act means. Could be an insult. I have no idea. Oh, they're German now. Who's German? Oh, Kent. Kent? Is Kent German now? Darn. That was the British business. I don't know how they became German. It was sold, probably. But hey, the Germans are good at engineering and building stuff, so. Bama keys? I don't know about those. I'll check that out. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I know Big Alley Traveler will require a lot of coffee donations, so just get cranking. Darn. Yeah, I know. All right, so no reply on 13. Oh, let's see if on the reverse beacon network, if I have some reports here, because well, someone's got to hear me, right? I mean, that antenna is pretty good. The magnetic loop works really well. So reverse beacon, there it is. Whoa, I have only 2 reports. One in Germany and one in OE6 ADD. I don't know where that is. Probably up north somewhere. I am really surprised that I got only 2 reports, but I think the propagation just went down all of a sudden. I should have called earlier. There were a ton of people on 30 meters, but not anymore. Yeah, propagation just tanked. Normally when I call like that on 30 meters, I have like dozens of reports. Not this time. And there's no forthcoming ones. Let's see. A third one. F4 VSQ, so the French report. Interesting, because probably the north of France, I don't know, maybe. F4 Victor Sierra Quebec. Did I hear someone reply? Call again. I think I might have heard someone reply, but whoops, what did I do here? Okay, let's do it again. So 3 reports on the reverse beacon network. That's nothing. With the amount, the quite a few times that I called here. Saving for a TX500. I'm saving for a lot of radio stuff, I know. That's why I'm poor, guys. I'm poor because I buy stuff that I shouldn't buy. But, you know, I'm running this channel, so it's like I work for you guys. I'm not employed in the IT field. I work for a bunch of YouTube subscribers. Yeah. I'm really passionate about radio anyway, so I don't care if I spend more money than I make, which is definitely the case. I think to make a living on YouTube you need, like, I don't know, probably 100,000 subscribers. I don't think before that you can make any sort of money on YouTube at all. Certainly even 100,000 subscribers, I don't think you'd make a good living. Sell my boat? I'll never sell my boat. No, I'm not gonna sell my boat. I need it, to get the hell out of here when the time comes. And that might come sooner than I think. Anyway, I'm gonna go there. All right. Yeah, Joseph. Yeah, IT. Yeah. I'm a Unix systems administrator. That's not really what I'm doing right now, but you know, right now I'm reading procedures and I I enter commands in the computer. That's it. There isn't much troubleshooting or anything like that. Or yeah, just I'm not a. I'm on that mission, that work mission for probably for I don't know a few months maybe, but maybe less. I'm not sure. After that we'll see. But the situation here, economic situation, is really bad. So I'm not even sure. You know, I still will have my job in 6 months or 3. You know, might have to take that boat trip a little sooner than expected. Try to cram as much radio in the boat as possible, and take my soldering iron with me and my cameras and computer, so I can keep on running this channel. And you guys would call me, you know, Maritime Mobile. All right. Do we have any other questions? Since 30 meters is you know, down the drain. Imperigon. Hello. Who else? Is Bavaria on the border with the Czech Republic? Felix, excellent. I'm gonna keep it on 10.118 in the background, just like that. So if someone calls, I can hear it and reply. I'll post the frequency again. Whoops, didn't work there. Oh, my computer is getting pretty warm. I'm getting pretty warm. It's so hot. I'm drenched. Anyway. All right. Do we have any other questions or suggestions for further discussion? Maybe. Standing by in 40 meters. Oh, I'm not on 40 meters. My radio, my K1 doesn't do 40 meters. Sorry. I should have used the Minion SDR, but then I have to go outside and change the you know, readjust the antenna. That's the problem with magnetic loops. Is that well, except if you have you know, a capacitor that's run by a step motor with maybe an Arduino or something. That's you know, and I might do that sometime. That's that you can, you know, set up tune your antenna without having to go to the antenna. But as it stands, it's a manual tune antenna. So I just set it to one frequency and I move a few kilohertz plus minus, and that's it. What got me interested in preparedness? That's very interesting question. And probably happened at the same time I went back to radio, so to speak. Radio, I started with the CB when I was a teenager, and I had a long hiatus when I didn't do any radio, and I was more into aviation, flying, and but when I came to the US, I, you know, started thinking a bit about radio, and I even bought a technician license book. And but I didn't go for the test, and I didn't do it. And then I was at a friend's house one morning. I was taking a shower, and she screams at me, "She'll come, you know, check it out, something awful happened, you know." And it was 9/11. And I didn't see the first tower being hit. I saw the second one, live TV, you know, and it was just, it was just awful. And I went to the coffee shop because my office, I was renting an office on top of the coffee shop on Main Street in Sarasota, Florida, and I actually took the TV that was in my office upstairs, and I brought it down inside the coffee shop to listen to the news and having coffee. And people were frantic in there. Just people crying, and I mean, everybody was talking about it, you know. And we all watched the TV that I brought down, and it was just a day in hell. And I remember that day. You know, we all remember where we were at that time. And that's when I kind of started, that planted the seed of preparedness. And I've always been into, shooting, sport shooting. I did IPSC, lots of competitions. I even did the French championships. I think I finished 43rd out of 200 maybe. Anyway, but I was on a national level. Hey, I shouldn't say that I was replacing one guy that was sick in the team, but I wasn't their first choice. But anyway, I went. That's one. But that's another thing. I've always liked, medicine. Also, I have a first aid. A certificate for first aid, and a specialty in resuscitation also. So all those things, and my kind of adventurous streak, so to speak. I did a lot of scuba diving, cave diving also. So aviation, flying. So I had to. It was a mentality of being prepared anyway. Cave diving, for instance, it's the whole dive is the preparation, and you have to be trained, and it's extremely dangerous, and you have to prepare everything, and you have to be ready for any thing that can happen. Aviation, same thing. You have checklists. You have to be ready for anything. Also, it's all about being prepared and thinking about what could happen and what to do if it does. So. Moving from that into prepping was really natural. I really didn't really one day decide to be a prepper. But that's probably someone is, and is a little bit off frequency. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, the radio. That's one of the reasons I got into Morse code also, and became an amateur radio operator. And what I did is that it's a funny story because someone's going to start calling CQ 117.5. Anyway, I wanted to do Morse code. That was because I had found out about QRP radios. Yeah. Let's see. CMQ WED. See if it's gonna hear me. I might be a little off. Let's see. All right. So anyway, he's got someone. All right. So I'm going to lower the sound. He got someone else. Yeah. So I wanted to do Morse code. It was. I felt that I thought that it was important that I use simple, efficient radios, and that I have a simple and efficient way of communicating. So I actually bought a kit because I did electronics when I was way back in school, and I bought a kit. It was a Weber DC20B. Built the kit, and I started listening to Morse code. Of course, I couldn't call because I didn't have a license. And what I did then is that I remember hearing some guy talking about being retired on a sailboat, and I was using a phone app to decode because I didn't know Morse code, of course. So I was using a phone app with a decoder to listen to that guy explaining that he was retired and on a sailboat. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And so I bought a K1 kit, an Elecraft K1 for like $400. Didn't have a license, didn't know any Morse code at all. And I built the K1 and it worked. So then I was like, shit, I spent $400. I better get a license. Otherwise, it's going to be money wasted except for listening. And I didn't know any Morse code. So I started learning Morse code. I bought the 3 books from the ARRL. I bought the Technician, General, and Extra book. Okay. What I did is that I'm like, well, I'm going to try, you know. And I started doing 1 chapter per day, but out of the 3 books. So I took the Technician, first day I took Technician book chapter 1, General book chapter 1, Extra book chapter 1. And every chapter was a little bit more than the previous one. So doing the chapter 1 in the Technician book, I would then move on into the General book, same chapter on the same subject, and I just had a little bit more to learn. Then I would take the chapter 1 of the Extra book, and again I had a little bit more, a little bit more to learn. And I did that for, it's about 15 chapters. I did that for 2 weeks. didn't sleep much. I studied a lot. I did a lot of tests, the blank test on qrz.com. And I went for the exam, and I passed Technician. They asked me if I wanted to do General. I was like, well, sure, okay. I passed General, and they asked me if I wanted to try Extra, And I thought, well, okay, General, I was pretty sure I was going to pass Technician and General. I really wasn't sure I was going to get Extra, but I passed Extra, so. And that's how I became a ham radio operator. And I included that in into prepping basically, and I started posting videos just like that. Didn't really think much of it, and just kept on doing it. That's it. I never really planned on starting this channel or the radiopreppers.com website, but it just kind of happened, and that's it really. That's the story, and that's how I got into prepping. It kind of just happened. All right, so let's see. You guys are in a big conversation. Yeah, that's great. I like that. Christian, yes, yeah, we'll do something soon. I'd be up for that. Yeah, let me know. All right, so this for blah blah blah. Best of luck. Yeah, thank you very much, Charlie. Steve McNaughton, do you have a family member that are into boat design? Because I bought a boat design from a McNaughton. What was his name? I forgot, but anyway, I think it's a common name. You heard me? Oh, very weakly, really? Western Pennsylvania. You heard me in Pennsylvania? That's cool. He's still chatting there on. I think it's like 117.2. All right, so please press that thumbs up button. Yes. Do you still use your MTR? Yes, I still use it. Actually, it's open because I was putting that stuff on it, the conformal coding, and I only did one side. I didn't do the other side yet. I haven't done the other side, so yeah, it's here. Yeah, yep, yeah, I should show that side. Yeah, so one side is conformal coded, not the other side. So, and I managed to stuck the power button because I conformal coded it by mistake. But my compulsion with epoxy and all kind of goops and hot glue and all that stuff. So I'm really a fan of. I don't know. It's weird. I don't sniff it, no, but I glue stuff. Xigu X6100. I don't know that radio. Sorry, no idea. Oh, that will be released in August. I haven't checked it out yet. I was thinking also of a G90 maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. I'd prefer a TX500. G90 is pretty much half the price though. The problem in France is that we pay 20% VAT on everything plus importation taxes, so it's extremely expensive to import a radio. And of course the French don't build radios, so it's a racket. Thanks, yeah. All right, so let's see if the person here is 17 point, 117.3. Yep. Have you tried the QCX Mini? No, I have two QCXs, the standard ones. One on 80 meters and one on 30 meters. The one on 30 meters stopped working, probably a cold solder joint, because I don't know, I must have messed up somewhere. Maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure why it doesn't work. I tried to fix it, but I wasn't able to. But I have two QCXs, but that's it, the standard ones. And I even made, I have a video on it, I made actually an amplifier, shame on me, for 80 meters for the QCX. But it was more or less to make the video and that's it, so I've actually never used it except on the video. Not once I've used it. 64 years now, I'm still learning. Me too. It's a never-ending learning experience, that's for sure. So who's talking to our guy here? GM0WED in England, I guess. Ah, it's done. The propagation is really going down though. Hello from LZ. What's LZ? Use your words. I'm joking, Peter. It's Peter Petrov. Yeah, cool. Ah. Okay, they're done. Ah, he's calling again. Same guy. I think he's got someone else again. I've been passed over again. Okay, I'm gonna wait again. I think he's the only guy in 30 meters right now. I don't know, maybe. All right, so such a shame that British should what? Out of Olympics after stakes. Oh, positive. Oh, okay. That's not related to radio. Landing zone. I don't think so. Who knows? Oh, Bulgaria. Okay, thank you very much for stopping by. So what is LZ then? Bulgaria is B. Oh, LZ for the, maybe for the, you mean for the call sign, right? Maybe. Okay, well, still someone on. The K1 is very sensitive, so yeah, that's great. Great radio. Small pile up, yeah, it's 2 people pile up. It's a pile down. All right, any questions? Because we're not gonna last much longer here. How long has it been? I'm not sure. Does it say somewhere? Where's my timer? No idea. I'm using this software, guys. It's a great software. It's what is it called? Streamlabs OBS, yeah. But I thought there was a timer somewhere. We're probably approaching an hour and a half, no? I started at 17:30, so it's 1900, no, 17:30. 7:30 p.m. local. Yeah, it's an hour and a half. I said 2 hours, so. But if there are no questions or suggestions, and this British guy doesn't hear me, it's very upsetting. Not. $10,102? I don't know, something on $10,102? Hold on. Gotta go check. Oh yeah. Yeah, there is something on 10.102. I'm gonna turn the light on here because it's getting dark. Well, I have like a 2-watt light bulb, so it's not gonna help much. Yeah, that's yeah, it could be RTTY. Not very familiar with digital modes, but oh. $10,114. Ah, it's saying 73 here. At least you can see the K1 now. I really have to change those buttons, those orange buttons. I mean, that it works for, you know. I 3D printed those, but oh, that's loud. It's too loud. Oh, this guy is. Ah, someone else. Well, there's still some people on 30 meters. Alright, I'm gonna browse around. And you can see the dial here. Yep, you can. I'm still sweating, guys. At night, I leave the window open because I don't have air conditioned, and I leave it open until when the door. I leave the door open here until midnight. Alright, we're gonna try it. Ah. He heard me. Let's see. Ah, sorry, he says. Almost. Alright, so I'm not gonna bother him further, but yeah, it barely, he heard F4 something. 129, okay, let's see. Also, on 117, I'm pretty far from my tuning, well, my tuning frequency is 120. Ah, someone is calling on 120.5, hold on. So I'll check 129 later. Farnsworth during CW learning, or go full speed from the very beginning? I'd say full speed from the very beginning. Do not learn below 15 words per minute. Ah, there's a QSO at the same time here, so... Never know. Probably not exactly on the same frequency, but... I should use a narrow filters. I have 3 filters on the K1. I think it's 1.5 kilohertz. Then it goes down to I think like 500, maybe something like that, or 600 maybe, and then 200, something like that, or 300, I'm not sure. But anyway, there are 3 filters, good ones too. Yeah, I wonder why they are on 10102. 10102 is in the CW portion of the band. I don't know why what they're doing on so low like that, but it's a free country. He's saying goodbye, so I might call because I can hear very loud. Yeah, he's saying goodbye. All right, so I might, might be lucky and make a contact here. RE 73 RE. What does that mean? You said you have your license, extra license, yes. Do you operate on a US license while in France? Yes, I do. But they gave me a French call sign, F4W, WBY. The W means that I have a foreign license. He's still talking. Wow, he's saying goodbye for a long time. What does the filter do? Okay, you can hear here that there is someone at that frequency, 120.4. Sometimes you can have someone that's like right next to it. Let's say there would be, you get someone on 10120 and there is someone on 10121. You're gonna hear, if you have a wide filter like 1.5 kilohertz like I do right now, you're gonna hear both stations at the same time. Not with the same pitch, but you're gonna hear them both at the same time. That can be very confusing. So if you choose, let's say, a narrower filter, let's say 400 hertz, you're gonna hear the station on 10.120, but you're not gonna hear the other station on 10.121 because it's 1000 hertz further away, and you have a 200 hertz filter, so you filter anything that's outside of that bandwidth, So if there is, you're listening to this portion of the band, 400 hertz, that's not a whole lot, but you have someone that's here outside, you're not gonna hear that guy, but you're gonna hear anybody that's here in the middle, right? So that's what you want to isolate one station so that you're not confused by other people that are nearby. M7TWS, Northeast England. Hello. Then should we put you in the cluster? Be my guest. He's calling it. Oh, that was the other guy though. DS5. DS5 USS. Interesting call sign. Okay, so yeah, he's got someone else again. All right, I'm gonna continue. See, I can't really go a whole lot further than my tuning frequency of 10120 because I'm not going to be tuned for it. Who's that? Oh, it's giving us QTH. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to lower the sound here. Check out the last questions we might have. I hope you guys like these, live stream sessions. I certainly do. It's a lot of fun to participate in a conversation as opposed to making a video and not have any exchange basically. Because a live stream, I have feedback, and you guys want to go in certain direction, we can do that. A video, it's not possible. Band plans are there for a reason. Yeah, I mean, of course, definitely. Definitely, there are places for RTTY on 30 meters, and it's not really, why do that? Because people who are looking for RTTY, they're not going to go on 10102, so you have less of a chance to find someone. Hello from Tennessee, James Reese. Excellent. What frequency is 20.4? Okay, the like right now it's 18.2. If you see it well, I mean it's kind of dark. Okay, 18.2 you see there, and actually it's 118.2. I'm gonna do it again. Press the button. Watch it. 118.2. That's the frequency I'm on. The radio only has 3 digits because it's cheaper and smaller. And I know it's 10.1, 18.2, so might as well only print the, display the 18.2. HF antenna on the boat. Okay, I have 2 plans for that. Right now, my backstay is a steel backstay connected to the mast. So I really can't use it because it would have to be insulated. I would have to have an insulated backstay. And those insulators are pretty darn expensive. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe replace the steel backstay by a Dyneema backstay. Dyneema is basically, it's I'm not going to say composite, but it's not steel. It's a fiber, like it's not nylon, but it's a high-tech type of fiber, basically, a Dyneema. Dyneema, I think. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I might replace my steel backstay by a Dyneema backstay. So that would be, of course, not non-conductive, and run a wire maybe, around that, and use that as a random wire. Although I'm not a big fan of random wires, but I think if I have a counterpoise in the water, in salt water, it might work. Also, I'm probably going to use, I think I'm going to put a base for a hamstick, or hamsticks, I should say. Those are cheap antennas. They work. They're like $30, $35 a pop, monoband. So I might use a 30-meter hamstick, possibly, because by the time I leave for my trip, it's the sun, the solar cycle will be up again, or higher anyway than it is now. So that might work. I might also use a military antenna. I'm not quite sure. There are tank antenna whips that are like pretty high, 4 meters high. So that would probably work fine as well. I'm not quite sure because I have to think of storms also, and a big wave will take an antenna out like it's a matchstick. So I have to think about that, and I think the backstay might be a better option here. But I'd like to have maybe hamsticks as a backup, because if I'm demasted and I lose my mast, then I can bring the hamstick, stick it on the deck, and have an antenna and call for help. Of course, amateur radio is not going to be my first option to call for help. I'm going to use the satellite system for that, an InReach, a Garmin InReach. But it's good to have a backup, even for backup to a satellite system, because that can fail also. So I'd like to have multiple ways of calling for help if I need to. And amateur radio will be one. Morse code will be one, or digital modes, depending on the situation. But if I'm demasted, I want to have a backup antenna solution. And that would be one. Also, a kite might be a backup antenna solution. There are multiple possibilities here. We'll see. TX500 has a notch filter. A notch filter is pretty good too, yeah, because then you can suppress a certain station, yeah. I think I had one on my KX2, but I don't think I used it. Or KX3 maybe? I don't remember which one, but... Well, Joseph, I think you definitely could, because I remember when I lived in Florida, actually my first contact ever as an amateur operator was with a French guy, F5IN, if I remember, with my K1, my K1. First contact ever on an unfed half-wave antenna, PAR unfed half-wave, using 5 watts. And the solar cycle was up back then. I think it was the end of 2012, so I'm not quite sure. I'd have to check, but it wasn't at the bottom, that's for sure. And I did numerous contacts with Eastern Europe and other European countries from Florida. Actually, lots of contacts in Russia and Eastern Bloc countries. Why, I don't know. I think it's just the way the signal bounced, skipping, and most of the time I went right over France and England and all those countries and Spain and stuff. I went right for the basically around the Black Sea over there. So definitely you will be able to contact me when the solar cycle will be up, and probably even now. I mean, now it's getting a little better. So by the way, guys, a note on your calendars. On August 7th and 8th, I will be the Plateau de l'Authion in the mountains at 2,000 meters altitude. So 6,500 feet maybe, I don't know, maybe higher, I'm not sure, 7,000 feet, something like that. 6,500 maybe, I don't know. Anyway, 2,000 meters. Use metric, guys. Come on, Australia did it. All right, so it's much easier. So yeah, definitely not next weekend, but the following weekend, I'm going to be in the mountains, and probably for the overnight, because it's pretty far away, so I'm not gonna go there with my friends for just one day, and so that we can do a little bit of drinking at night also. No, just kidding, just a little. But yeah, I'm not a drinker at all. Not much anyway. Just like a little Cointreau once in a while with smoking a pipe. But I'm not really a smoker either, so good things in moderation. Have a recommend for kite. Send me a link, please. Send me a link. Yeah, I saw someone suggested. I think they're called box kites. Box kites because you can just they pack. There's no rods. So yeah, something like that. But again, those kites are pretty darn expensive. I think I saw one for like 70 euros. So it's like $100. So it's like, geez, I can buy a whole radio kit for that. I can buy a QCX. And yeah, I'm pretty broke right now. So coffee, you can use the coffee donation link. And I, I'm just asking that because if I was rolling in the dough, I wouldn't. But it's just not the case, and I do spend a lot of money on radios, lots of money. A little bit on drones, but not as much. And I have to spend money on the boat also, and also for radio. I think I'm going to put my PRC 320 anyway in the boat, and I want the QCX Plus kit for the boat also. And I'll probably want to find some kind of a transceiver, a JS8 transceiver. I think one came out on QRPguys.com, and it's been designed by it was designed by Steve Weber, and I really like. I've built most of Steve's radios. I mean, a bunch of them anyway, probably a dozen. I really like radios made by Steve Weber, and he built a. No, it's not the DSB one they have on QRP guys. I built that one. It's so. It works, but it's not that great. DSB transceiver for GS8, and I had to even change the crystals. I had custom crystals made. But this one has a DDS. So on QRPguys.com, I might get that one. I might wait for something else. I'm not sure. Liverpool, 10118.2. Okay. Well, yeah, that's what I'm listening to. Yeah. Done. Okay. 33 point. Okay. 32. That's not 3200. 6,000 feet. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I thought about 1,600. Well, I'll tell you what. I have a converter on my. I have a converter on my phone, so. Because of course, I deal a lot with Americans and British people, so I do convert units quite often, and usually I can do it on top of my head, but not all the time. So 2,000 meters, I'm going to be at 2,000 meters. Once again, August 7th and 8th. I said 1,600 feet, it's 1,661, I was pretty close. Alright, 6,561 feet. Just about. And the last time we went there, or was it? No, the time before, because we already went twice there, the Plateau de l'Otions, beautiful place. I think the first time we went there, I made a contact with my Yaesu VX6, so 5 watt handheld to Sardinia. It was like 200 miles. And my friend tried also, Frederick, and he made the same contact with 100 milliwatts, or a few hundred milliwatts, I don't remember, but with a VX1, it was amazing, VHF, over the ocean, and that worked really well. So VHF, you have the height, you can do amazing stuff. And I'm going to take my VRM 5080 and try 6 meters FM again, because I'm a sucker for punishment. And nobody's going to reply, as usual. But I'm going to try again anyway. So, and it's just for fun. It's not the best choice for prepping, of course, but 5-4 in Liverpool. No, well, Steve, I'm not transmitting right now. It's not me. It's someone else. So, it's not me. Yeah. I called earlier, but the guy didn't hear me. I'm going to try again once they say goodbye if I hear it. I'm going to up the sound a bit. Alright, we're approaching 2 hours, guys. It's going to be time to say goodbye. So, last questions. Huh? Oh, Otion, I'm going to write that. The plateau, yeah. Hold on. I'm going to write that down. Apostrophe. I think it's spelled like that. I'm not 100% certain, but hold on. Why can't I see my comment? Whoop, there it is. Okay. Yeah. That's where I'm going. We're going because we're going to be maybe, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 people. 73. Okay. We're going to try. Okay, last questions. He's got someone else again. Alright, Steve. Yeah, have a good night. I want to make that contact. Okay, we're gonna extend 5 minutes because I want to make this. I want to make one contact tonight at least. I haven't really tried, but if I was more persistent, I would have already made probably 2 or 3. But A mod code class. Interesting. That's an interesting idea. I'll think about that. Yeah, I'll think about that. Subterranean Bion in San Remo. I could probably connect to the San Remo repeater on VHF pretty easily because it's in my radio. I think it even have a DMR, but I have the San Remo repeater programmed in my VHF radio. So let me know. Now, if you can reach the R3 Mount Agile repeater, I'm going to write it down. I'm probably going to be on that, or Vial. So check those out. Zoom meetings, yeah, Zoom or Teams maybe, or Skype. Skype's going to be is Skype going to be cancelled or something? Oh no, but that's the professional version. Discord. I don't know. Can we do that kind of stuff on Discord? I'm not sure. Ah, okay, here. Ah, again. It's got F5. Almost, come on. He got F5 WBY, and of course it's F4 WB. Okay. Da-di-da, and let's see. No, I don't. One letter. That's all I have, man. All right, let's see if you heard me this time. Just one letter. It's missing one letter. One dash instead of a dot. Yes. All right, so he got my name. Okay, good. I might have gotten it on the internet. Vic, V-I-K. Okay. I didn't get the end. Ah, so okay. It wasn't important. It wasn't important, I guess. And that's it. One contact. I made it. All right, it was hard. It was hard. Okay, so what time is it? I'm gonna write it down in local. So that's gonna be the end of this live stream. 21:30, just about. Local on 10.1.18.2. Gave him a 599. I don't remember what I gave me, but anyway, doesn't matter. Don't forget to write down the date, 22nd, July 22nd. K1 Magloop. Most of my logbook is on post-it notes and pieces of papers in a cardboard box. I don't care, but it's the law, so you know I write it down, and if they want to sift through my post-it notes, they are welcome to it. All right, he made another contact. All right, cool. So I'm gonna close the K1. Thank you guys. It was much fun for me. I hope it was fun for you too, and we'll do this again. Possibly, I'm thinking maybe even, maybe, I know that on Sunday there's supposed to be a net on JS8 Sunday night, I think 17:30 Zulu, same thing. I'm not the one organizing it, someone else is. I gotta check the information. I'm not sure. I'll post the information on Facebook, on the Radio Preppers group on Facebook. Don't forget to go on radiopreppers.com too, because there hasn't been many posts on that site lately, and it would be too bad to not to use it. It's a mine. It's a gold mine of ham radio information. A lot of stuff there. It's been up for many years. Radiopreppers.com, for many years it's been up, and there are lots of stuff on it. The thing is, it's a little bit of a pain to sign up. There are questions you have to answer, and you can easily find the answers on the internet. Just use Google, you know, or duckduckgo.com like I do, so you're not spied on, and or less anyway. And go to radiopreppers.com. And if you have any questions, you can post them there. There are very knowledgeable people there to answer your questions. And if you have trouble signing up, I was going to say don't hesitate, but there's not much I can do. So just answer the damn questions. You'll be fine. Pedro just passed his license. Excellent. In Paris, no less. Cool. All right. So don't forget, please, if you can help this channel, help me keep going and be a part of this whole thing. Go to patreon.com, sign up, even if it's a couple dollars a month, you know, $5, I don't know, whatever you want. It helps a great deal, and I've had you know, a little bit less people because of the current situation, I guess. You know, people are hurting, and everyone is, and you know, I am too, and I understand. But it takes quite a lot of work to get this channel going, and it's really it takes a lot of my time, and it takes all my money. most of what I have left anyway after the taxes here in France, which are horrendous. Anyway, patreon.com, or you know, coffee donation. If you want to help out, you know, like I said, you go to the movies, you're entertained, you have to buy a ticket. So and I you know, I can use the help. All right, so I'm not gonna say that again and again and again. Actually, I did, but it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all those who support this channel again on Patreon, with the coffee donations, whatever else. It's really helping a lot, and I you know, I just couldn't do it otherwise. All right, guys, or it would be very boring. there wouldn't be much happening, that's for sure. Anyway, I really enjoyed this. It's a lot of fun, and I'll do it again. Morse code lessons. I know. I got to think about that. It's not out of the questions, but again, it's a matter of finding the time, and maybe I can find some sites that actually can offer support for that. I'm not sure. It probably would have to be video, some sort of video lessons. I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll think about it. I'm not a super duper expert, you know, with Morse code, but I am a good teacher. I know that. I'm, you know, might not be humble to say that, but I'm not the most humble guy. So, but I know I'm good at teaching people. So that, you know, that would be good. But I'm not sure I'm good enough with Morse code. But I guess if it's you know, lessons for beginners, then yes. But I'm not going to teach anyone to reach 30 words per minute because I can't do it. So. But I can take people up to 20 maybe, you know, or, you know, starting from 0. So ab initio, like we say in aviation. Anyway, yeah, once again, I'm dragging it on because I have nothing else to do, but gotta get some sleep. I have to go to work tomorrow. Well, don't have to go to work, but I have to sign on my computer early enough, so gotta get some sleep. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, as you can see, it's getting dark here. It's 9:40 p.m. So you'll have a very good night. Once again, a very nice live stream. Really appreciated all the comments, the questions, and everything else. Probably the donations, I haven't checked, but yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. All right, guys. And there's only one thing I can say after a successful live stream. Have a good one.